Hi there. Welcome to the Small Business Coffee Break, the video series where we take a few minutes to work on your business, not just in it. Today we talk about what if your business's story isn't exciting with Tamika Bickham of TB Media Group. Tamika's been a journalist, podcaster, entrepreneur, and she is passionate about helping businesses tell their story. So grab a cup of coffee and let's get into it. Tamika, so we talked about the idea that a story is just the retelling of a series of events, right? What if my business has a boring story? Mm-hmm. Is every story good?
Oh, that's a good question. And I think a lot of times businesses say that they don't have a story, but of course you do. Now, you hire a professional to help you make it a little more interesting. So if you feel like your story isn't so compelling or strong, that may be true, but oftentimes it just takes maybe another eye to kind of look at it and pull it out of you. But at the end of the day, especially in service-based businesses where people are buying you and working with you, an individual, there is a story there. There's a reason why you do what you do, and someone somewhere will connect with that why. I think the only time that doesn't apply is when the why is just purely money. But I think oftentimes our why is tied to our own personal experiences. So whatever that is, no matter the business that you're in, it could have been influenced by a tragic event in your life, or it could have been influenced just by your passion for art, and you've turned that into a career. There's so many different things that influence your path. And when you share that, that's what helps other people connect with you and trust you and want to work with you because they see a piece of themselves in who you are.
And well, that's such a big difference between talking to someone who's got a lot of experience in really looking for the elements of a story that work, right? And then it's funny when you just reminded me when you just said sometimes when it's purely money of Jerry Maguire. Cuba Gooding Jr.'s character, Show Me the Money. The first entire portion of that very good story was about his character wanting to get money. It was the only thing he was worried about. He made his agent scream it at the top of his lungs at an office. But at the end of the story, you realize that the only thing the money was really about was taking care of his family. Mm-hmm. So the story wasn't getting money.
Right.
The story was about a man who had an opportunity to set his family up and his grandkids up, and he can do that, and he wanted to do that. So Show Me the Money was about taking care of family. Right. And that's really what the story was about. But on the front end of it, you're just like, oh, it's just a guy trying to squeeze them for every buck they can get.
Yeah. No, absolutely. I think if we all dig a little bit deeper, and look, there are certainly people out there who are money driven, and if that's you, hey, that's fine. But I think in general, most of us have another thing or something else that really drives who we are and what we do, and I think that's part of our story.
Let's keep the conversation going. If you have any questions for Tamika, ask them in the comments, or her contact information is in the description. If you have any questions you'd like me to ask Tamika or any other professional in their field, my contact information is also in the description, and I'm always open to a DM. See you next week for another cup of coffee and more questions answered.